Hi, Christy Lorette, marketing copy expert, creator of Action Marketing Copy System at actionmarketingcopy.com. Today we're going to be talking about segmenting customers to focus your marketing messages. So as you really start to get to know who your customers are, you may start to see that there are some dividing lines between these groups of customers. And while all of your customers obviously have some kind of characteristic in common because they're buying from you, you'll see that there are some subcategories or subsegments that form as well. So for example, if you sell a product or a service that caters to women, you may see that the product or service that women with children buy is different from that of professional women that don't have children. So while you can segment and subsegment your customers as you see fit and in ways that work for your particular business, there are four primary ways to create customer segments. And these are by demographic information, behavior, location, and lifestyle. And once you slide your customers into the appropriate categories where they fall, it becomes much easier for you to create marketing messages that fit and speak to each of those groups. So let's look first at the segmentation strategy, which is the demographics of the customers. Demographics can include a lot of different information, but the items such as age, ethnicity, race, household income, gender, education level, or even their professions. So let's say you're a hairdresser and you specialize in African American hair. Then your customers fall into a demographic segment. Now, within that segment, the African American segment, you still can have subsegments. So you may drill it down by an age demographic. So it could be children versus teenagers versus women. And you can even separate it by a gender demographic, so men versus women. Customers can also be defined by their buying habits or their behaviors. So you may separate your customers by how frequent they place orders with you or utilize your service. So a frequent buyer may be someone who buys from you at least once a month, while a mid-range client can come in at once a quarter, and then maybe an infrequent shopper is someone that only bought from you on a one-time basis. Segmenting your customers in this manner allows you to use marketing messages that keep those frequent shoppers engaged. So the message that you send to them is going to be totally different than the message that you're trying to send to someone who's only bought from you one time, because you're trying to re-engage that one-time purchaser. So this is why customer segmentation becomes so important when it comes to getting your marketing messages out to each group, because each group garners a completely different approach. Of course, you have the same goal in mind, which is to get them to act on your messaging, but the message itself is completely different. Now, a third customer segment to consider is the location. A location can be a country, it can be a region in the country, a state, or even down to the county level. Regional differences can occur with the types of products and services that the customers buy, but this type of segmentation strategy tends to work best when you have sales territories or you have representatives that are assigned to service those areas. This allows for the proper allocation of those services, but it too can change the marketing approach and the messaging that you use. For an example, let's say you sell heating and cooling services, but you offer those services in all the states, all the way up the eastern seaboard. Now, when you look at those states, you can easily see that not all of them need air conditioning servicing, and not all of them need heating services. And then you have some states that do need a little bit of both, or a lot of one and a little bit of the other. But of course, it's at different times of the year. And let's say you're running an advertising campaign in Miami, Florida in the middle of November, you're highly unlikely to be running heating service ads, while this in turn is a prime time to be sending those types of marketing messages out to states like New York. Now, a final major customer segment is the lifestyles category, which really speaks to the values and attitudes of the customers that are in that segment. Religion, extracurricular activities, the makeup of the household, these can all be part of the lifestyle, attitude, and values category. So if you live in a neighborhood or a community that's highly religious, or the makeup is mostly of families, and you're providing home organization services, your marketing message is going to be completely different than if if you're trying to target senior couples that don't have any children living at home anymore. So a family obviously has different organizing needs than that of a couple without any kids. Therefore, your approach to marketing and the approach you take to creating your marketing message is also going to be very different. So take a step back and look at what your customers have in common with each other, and then also take a look at some of the subcategories that may start to appear within these group of customers. This segmentation allows you to better alter your marketing messages to really mean something to the group that you're targeting, which in the end makes a difference. It makes a difference as to whether or not your marketing message moves them into action. This is Christy Lorette, marketing copy expert, creator of Action Marketing Copy System at actionmarketingcopy.com.